Turn travel into a catalyst for transformative change. So I'm proud to announce Travelers.
We were desperate to find someone, desperate to be somewhere for, a long... To settle.
No.
I think everyone was like, yeah, gospel choir, wow, what a wonderful idea, that's great. And again, more help from my dad.
The prince who once had Britain supporting him completely just discovered what happens when a nation decides you're no longer worth their time. Harry's latest trip to the UK turned into the kind of royal challenge that palace PR teams worry about. No cheering crowds, no family welcome, no supporters lining the streets, just stone-cold silence that spoke louder than any tabloid headline ever could. This wasn't just another quiet royal visit. This was Britain sending a message so clear, so calculated.
We love you, Harry. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry.
That even Harry's biggest critics didn't see it coming. The boy who grew up as the people's prince just learned that love, once lost, doesn't come back. And what happened next would leave even those who predicted his downfall surprised. Harry's story is far from over, and the real drama is just beginning. What's coming next will change everything you thought you knew about the royal family. Like this video if you want to see how this royal situation unfolds. Subscribe for more revealing royal content, and hit that notification bell.
You didn't believe she was dead?
For a long time. I just refused to accept that she was gone.
Because what's coming up in this story is more dramatic than anything we've seen so far. Prince Harry's latest trip to the UK has turned into a scene no royal ever dreams of, yet everyone saw coming. He touched down for what insiders claimed would be a long-awaited reunion, but the reality couldn't have been colder. There was no crowd, no supporters, no royal reception. Instead, there was silence. And that silence spoke louder than any speech from Buckingham Palace.
So here's the situation. King Charles is days away from a critical decision that could define his leadership and legacy.
This wasn't just another quiet arrival. This was rejection on a national stage. A prince once celebrated across Britain as the people's favorite has become a figure many now call unwelcome. The whispers have grown into open disapproval. No royal aides were seen waiting. No family members came forward, and no public cheers filled the air. It was a lonely homecoming that laid bare what many in Britain have already decided. Harry isn't welcome anymore. People across the UK have been direct.
Prince Harry didn't just return to the UK, he walked straight into a wall of silence. No buzz, no...
He's been branded a disappointment. The boy who once wore the title of Soldier Prince and beloved son of Diana has traded in respect for controversy after controversy. From the Oprah interview that shook the monarchy to the Netflix deals that many accuse him of cashing in on, his image has shifted from victim to opportunist. In the eyes of many back home, the message is undeniable. Britain has moved on. Royal insiders whisper that senior members of the family have no interest in playing peacemaker. The king has duties.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorite.
Many people doubt Meghan has long been a mother, following her attendance at...
William has the crown in waiting, and nobody has time for Harry's ongoing issues. One source clearly put it, there's no appetite to welcome him back. That statement alone captures the mood inside palace walls and across much of the country. The cold shoulder extends beyond just family members. Palace staff who once worked closely with Harry have distanced themselves. Former allies within the royal household now speak of him with barely concealed frustration. The very people who used to coordinate his charitable work and public appearances have moved on to other royals.
So Prince Harry arrived London today for the
other causes, other priorities. The institutional machinery that once supported him has systematically shut down. Security arrangements that were once automatic now require lengthy negotiations. Media coordination that happened seamlessly in the past is now non-existent. Even the charities he once championed have quietly begun transitioning to new patrons, new faces, new energy. The royal machine doesn't pause for anyone, not even a prince who once seemed essential to its future.
Every year since he left the royal family, Prince Harry dutifully travels from his home in California to London.
The absence of a reception wasn't an oversight. It was deliberate. It was a statement from both the institution and the public. Harry isn't just being ignored. He's being removed from the heart of a country that once claimed him as their own. The prince who walked away has found out what happens when you close the door on tradition and expect it to reopen at your convenience. It doesn't. What's worse is that public sympathy has shifted almost entirely. Meghan was once blamed for pulling him away.
A tale of two engagements that took place today, one with Harry, one with William.
But now even critics agree Harry made his own choices. He could have balanced royal duty with private life. But instead, he damaged relationships. People remember the interviews, the accusations, the memoir. The very same man who accused his family of being unfair now seems desperate for their recognition. For many back home, he crossed a line too far when he aired family secrets for profit. The royal brand survives on silence and dignity, and Harry has traded both for attention and contracts.
An extraordinary on-air row has broken out about Prince Harry and potential drug.
What makes this sting even more is how quickly the public sentiment flipped. Harry had the nation's love. He was Diana's son, the soldier who served his country, the prince who made the monarchy feel human. But now he's a symbol of wasted potential, a man who let bitterness cloud his judgment. The truth is, Harry has drained the goodwill that once surrounded him. What started as understanding for his frustrations has turned into complete exhaustion with his constant grievances.
In a stunning twist of fate, Prince Harry collapsed in open court after DNA test results confirmed he is not the...
People gave him grace when he left, understanding his pain, even cheering him on for choosing love over duty. But the endless rants, interviews, and money-making deals have flipped that sympathy into disappointment. Every project seems designed to make the royal family look bad, and that's the real reason people are done with him. It's not just about calling out tradition. It's about criticizing his own family for the cameras. Prince Harry's name used to spark pride. Now it sparks irritation across the UK.
It was the King arriving back at Clarence House from Scotland that signalled it might be happening. And then...
People don't even want to hear it anymore. The man once called the people's prince has become the man nobody wants to claim. He's gone from adored to ignored, and the public is tired of hearing the same story on repeat. The endless interviews, the tell-all memoir, the Netflix projects, it's all become background noise. He paints himself as the victim, but the more he talks, the more people see through it. Britain doesn't see bravery in his words anymore. They see someone dependent on the spotlight.
In the last couple of hours, the Prince's car was seen arriving at Clarence House in London after the King flew from Aberdeen.
The constant need to tell his story, to stay relevant, to prove he was wronged, has caught him in a cycle that nobody wants to watch anymore. The public isn't fooled. They see the pattern: interview, complaint, cash, repeat. His name no longer inspires loyalty or curiosity. It only sparks annoyance. He's become the royal everyone wishes would stay silent, because every new outburst feels calculated rather than genuine. People can sense the difference between authentic passion and performative activism.
It wasn't raining when Prince Harry arrived, and believe me, he is nice and dry inside Clarence. Journalists stood outside the gate, but yes.
And Harry's recent efforts land squarely into the latter category. Now, Britain doesn't just reject his presence, they reject his voice. They don't want to hear his name, his opinions, or his side of the story. They've decided he's no longer worth listening to. And for someone who grew up in the world's spotlight, that silence is the most difficult part of all. Even the tabloids, which once couldn't get enough of Harry, now seem to focus on criticizing him. Headlines call him irrelevant. Commentators call him desperate.
So while Prince Harry is making a personal donation of $1.5 million to help the UK youth,
critics argue that he's lost the very dignity that once set him apart from the rest of the celebrity circus. It's not just about Meghan anymore. This time, the finger points squarely at him. The rejection goes deeper because Harry once symbolized hope for the modern monarchy. He was seen as relatable, charismatic, and unafraid to break from tradition. But that charm has been replaced with bitterness, and the public sees it. His every move now feels calculated.
Okay, this is always going to be funny to me because they say Harry is irrelevant, but look at the papers today.
Every statement rehearsed. What should have been a triumphant return feels more like an embarrassing reminder of how far he's declined. The same media outlets that once painted him as the golden boy of the royal family now treat him like yesterday's news. Royal correspondents who used to hang on his every word now barely mention his activities unless it's to point out another misstep. The coverage has shifted from fascination to indifference. And in the celebrity world, indifference is far worse than criticism.
Prince Harry has touched down in the UK for his longest trip back home since the passing of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth.
Britain has a way of showing its feelings without words. The empty arrival was not just about absence, it was about making a point. There are no more warm embraces waiting for Harry on UK soil. No more spontaneous cheers from crowds. No more unconditional love. The media reflects what the country feels, and right now that feeling is complete disconnection. What's particularly telling is how the press now covers other royals, with the enthusiasm they once reserved for Harry. William and Catherine get glowing coverage. Even King Charles, despite his health challenges.
So Harry is on his way back, but Harry and his team are hoping that this visit may have a different feel.
Receives more positive attention than his younger son. The spotlight has definitively moved on, leaving Harry chasing relevance in a game where the rules have changed completely. The transformation in media coverage isn't just professional, it's personal. Journalists who once defended Harry's right to privacy now question his every public appearance. The very people who criticized the paparazzi for hounding him now seem uninterested in his story altogether. When the media stops caring, you know the public has already checked out.
Why aren't William and Harry on good terms? It all started because of one woman. Once incredibly close, William and Harry were seen as the royal family.
Some analysts say this is permanent. Once the love of the people slips away, it rarely comes back. The monarchy thrives on perception. And right now, the perception is that Harry is no longer royal in spirit, only in name. His choices have left him alienated, not only from the palace, but from the very people who once cheered him on. The UK has turned its back, and that reality affects him more with each visit. It's no longer just about a broken relationship with his brother or a cold distance with the king. It's about credibility. And right now, Harry has none in the UK. The rejection runs deeper than headlines. It's not just that people didn't show up for him. It's that people no longer care. His name doesn't inspire loyalty. It doesn't spark curiosity. It only creates fatigue. The monarchy may have its flaws, but in Britain, loyalty to the crown runs deep. And by constantly criticizing it, Harry has cut himself off from that loyalty. It's no longer a debate of Harry versus the royal family. It's Harry versus the people.
Why not renounce your titles as Duke and Duchess?
And what difference would that make?
One of the criticisms that you've received is...
And when the people decide they're tired of you, there's no coming back. What's heartbreaking is that Harry once had everything. Respect, admiration, and a role that truly mattered. He was the modern prince who could connect with ordinary people. He had the raw honesty and charm that made him stand out. But instead of building on that, he's chosen bitterness, and bitterness doesn't sell forever. The institution has moved forward without him, operating with the same efficiency and purpose it always has. Royal engagements continue, charitable work progresses, and the monarchy adapts.
Harry, I warn you after 19 months apart. You came to Clarence House. Our first meeting.
The message couldn't be clearer. There's no place left for someone who chose fame over family, profit over principle. The royal family has learned to function perfectly well without Harry, and they're not looking back. So where does Harry go from here? Back to California, where his celebrity status still has value, where his brand can still sell, and where Meghan continues to shape their narrative. But one thing is clear. In the UK, the story is finished. The people have spoken, and their silence affects him more than any headline ever could. Harry once represented possibility.
I watched the television last night. You know, they split the screen. They showed Harry at his Well Child charity, and they showed
rebellion with charm, and a future that felt fresh. Now he represents regret, rejection, and a cautionary tale of how quickly love can turn to disdain when loyalty is questioned. The UK has made its choice, and Harry has to live with it. The prince who lost Britain didn't just lose a country. He lost the one thing a royal can never afford to lose: respect. Insiders say even those who once defended him now show their disapproval. Friends who supported his exit are distancing themselves. Even royal watchers who were sympathetic in the early days admit he's gone too far.
If your mother were still alive, do you ever think about how she might handle this moment? We
wouldn't have got to.
There's only so much drama people can take before they tune out. And Harry has pushed his narrative to its limit. The silence that greeted him in the UK wasn't just a cold welcome. It was a statement. The people have moved on. They don't want to hear his side of the story anymore. They don't care about his grievances, and they definitely don't want to hear him speak negatively about the King, William, or anyone else again. The monarchy may have its flaws, but in Britain, loyalty to the crown runs deep. Some commentators even argue that Harry has become dependent on the spotlight.
Prince William has refused to meet Prince Harry during his UK visit. After 3 years of silence, the brothers have barely spoken.
The constant need to tell his story, to stay relevant, to prove he was wronged, has caught him in a cycle of oversharing. The public isn't fooled. They see the pattern: interview, complaint, cash, repeat. And that's why they've tuned him out completely. The British public has reached their limit with Harry's constant need for attention and validation. Every appearance feels calculated to generate headlines, rather than genuine engagement with causes he claims to care about. People can sense when someone is performing.
Mr. Hammond of Ghana, happy birthday, sir. Wishing you a very, very...
Rather than genuinely caring, and Harry's recent efforts feel hollow. The transformation is complete, from beloved prince to irrelevant celebrity, from the people's champion to someone they actively avoid hearing about. The man who once commanded respect now struggles for basic attention. And perhaps most heartbreaking of all, he seems completely unaware of how far he's declined. Britain has made its verdict clear. Harry is no longer welcome in the hearts of the people who once adored him.
No wonder Harry didn't meet William this time. 3 details suggest he's trying to return to the royal family. Recently,
he's become a cautionary tale of what happens when you trade authenticity for fame, family for profit, and respect for relevance. The door isn't just closed, it's been firmly shut. And unlike fairy tales, some stories don't get happy endings. The prince who walked away thinking he could have it all discovered the harsh truth. You can't damage relationships and expect to walk back across them. You can't criticize the institution that made you and expect a warm, welcome home.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing.
You can't trade your family's trust for money and fame and expect forgiveness. Harry learned this lesson the hardest way possible, in front of an entire nation that has simply moved on without him. Harry once represented possibility, rebellion with charm, and a future that felt fresh. Now he represents regret, rejection, and a cautionary tale of how quickly love can turn to disdain when loyalty is questioned. The UK has made its choice, and Harry has to live with it. The prince who lost Britain didn't just lose a country.
Okay, let's talk about the rumors that Prince Harry is not the son of Prince Charles, but is rather the son of Major James.
He lost the one thing a royal can never afford to lose: respect. What makes this entire situation so heartbreaking is that it was completely avoidable. Harry had choices at every step. He could have found a middle ground. He could have stepped back without damaging every relationship. He could have maintained his dignity while pursuing his independence. Instead, he chose the path of maximum drama, maximum exposure, and maximum profit. And now he's paying the maximum price.
Despite the Duke of Sussex flying almost 11 hours to see his father following his shock cancer diagnosis,
The institution he spent years criticizing has proven it doesn't need him. The family he accused of being unfair has moved forward without missing a step. The country that once celebrated him has found new heroes to cheer for. Harry risked everything on the belief that his star power would overcome any damage to his relationships. He lost that gamble completely. The saddest part isn't just that Harry is unwelcome in Britain. It's that he seems genuinely surprised by this outcome.
What Prince Harry wanted to do was to eject me from the organization, and this went on for months. It went on for months.
After years of public criticisms, leaked conversations, and tell-all interviews, he apparently expected to waltz back into the country and receive the same love he once enjoyed. That level of disconnect from reality shows just how far removed he's become from the people he once served. The silence that greeted his arrival wasn't harsh, it was honest. Britain was simply reflecting back to Harry the energy he's been putting out for years. When you spend your time criticizing the things people hold dear, you can't expect them to celebrate your presence. When you treat your family as content for your next project, you can't expect a warm welcome home. The story of Prince Harry's decline from grace is now complete. From beloved royal to rejected outsider in just a few short years, the man who once had the world at his feet discovered that fame without respect is meaningless. Celebrity without credibility is hollow. And attention without affection is just noise. Harry's legacy in Britain is now written.
Harry and Meghan or Will and Kate? Who are you
Will
taking?
and Kate, mate. F*** Harry and Meghan, bro.
Will and Kate at least stay. If they want to go, go.
Not as the soldier prince who served his country. Not as Diana's son who carried on her compassion. But as the royal who chose himself over service, profit over principle, and celebrity over family. That's how he'll be remembered. And that's a reality that no amount of California sunshine can ever heal. The transformation is complete. Prince Harry has gone from the most beloved royal of his generation to someone Britain actively wishes would disappear from their headlines.
Prince Harry is pictured on a doorbell camera calling at houses while looking for a friend. The Duke of Sussex, who was in London, claiming in court that he felt...
This isn't a temporary setback or a rough patch in public relations. This is the permanent consequence of years of calculated criticisms of the very institution and family that made him who he is. Harry thought he could have his cake and eat it too. Keep the royal title, keep the global platform, keep the respect, but ditch the responsibility and constraints that come with it. He learned the hard way that respect isn't something you're born with or entitled to. It's something you earn and maintain through your actions.
We have had a statement in the last few minutes from Buckingham Palace, who are as clear as they can be. All of these issues have been
and his actions have spoken louder than any carefully crafted interview ever could. The prince who once symbolized the future of the monarchy has become a symbol of what happens when privilege meets poor judgment. He traded a lifetime of meaningful service for a few years of headline-grabbing drama. He exchanged genuine connection with his people for profitable content deals. He chose temporary fame over lasting legacy.
Why does Prince Harry always put his hand in his coat? In many public engagements, Prince Harry has been spotted tucking his hand into his suit jacket.
But Britain has moved on, the royal family has moved on, the world has moved on. The only person who seems unable to accept this new reality is Harry himself. He's caught in a cycle of his own making, desperately trying to stay relevant in a country that has decided he no longer matters. That's not just unfortunate, it's deeply sad. The boy who grew up as everyone's favorite prince became the man nobody wants to hear from anymore. And unlike the fairy tales he grew up hearing, there's no magic wand that can undo the damage he's done to himself.
No, just touch it. There you go. Whoa.
Some relationships, once damaged, can never be rebuilt. Some trust, once broken, can never be repaired. Some love, once lost, never comes back. Harry's story serves as the ultimate reminder that actions have consequences, even for princes, especially for princes. The crown may be heavy, but the respect that comes with it is earned through service, sacrifice, and loyalty. Harry chose a different path. Now he has to live with where that path has led him, alone, irrelevant, and unwanted in the country he once called home.